Yo, what is going on? You already know what it is. Today we're gonna be playing some games with PikaRom, Turbo PikaRom. Deck recently came back into the meta, I feel like, full force at Madison Regionals, where one managed to place top 4. And this list is fairly similar to that list. I mean, there's a decent amount of changes. I have foregone the Volkners and added Acro Bikes, just trying to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more turbo, a little bit more turn 1 full blitz. And as a lot of you know, I do not like Volkner as a card. I don't think it's very good at all. So yeah, no Volkner. We do have the Lilies for draw supporters, and we got 4 Guzma for the alternative of bring something up and hit it instead of draw some extra cards with Lillie. Besides that, everything else is pretty straightforward. Pretty standard for a PikaRom list these days. 2 Marshadow, 2 Dedenne, 1 Lele for the draw support from the Pokémon. We got the resetting home Marshadow, deal with those pesky heat factories and sometimes power plants. Our attackers, we got 2 Zapdos, 2 Pikachu Zekrom, sometimes use the Koko-GX and sometimes attack with Zeraora as well. We have 2 of those in here because prizing your single Zeraora kind of stinks. So I have 2 of them because I don't like prizing the Zeraora. You can pretty much just lose the game if you prize Zeraora or Koko Prism. But we can only play 1 Koko Prism, so can't do anything about that. Just gonna have to stay at 1. And yeah, that's the list. I don't have much else to say on that. I don't think there's much else I would change around with it. I think I'd keep it the way it is. A 3rd PikaRom would be a consideration. Maybe a couple Cynthias. But yeah, not too much I would change around. Let's go ahead and get some games and see how it runs. Going second here in this first game, opening up the Zeraora, have a Dedenne, nice ball Acro Bike, so we have some options here. Nothing too limiting. We got some moves to be made. Our opponent opens the Ditto. Probably playing up against a Zoroark deck. We'll see here what they grab off the Nest Ball, but I have to assume Zoroark, do we see any different? Okay, there's a Koko. I would say we're playing against Weezing. I could also be wrong on that. We'll find out here soon, probably off this Nest Ball. This should tell us exactly what our opponent's playing. Not quite yet. It's an Oranguru. Alright, still no idea apparently what our opponent's playing. All I know is I do want to Zapdos KO this Ditto for sure. How we get there is kind of the question. I mean, it always ends up with lightning on the active, right? So I think, well, we want Zapdos and we want... Actually, we kind of want to put that in the discard pile with the Dedenne. So we just start with the Acro Bike here, because we want Zapdos and Koko Prism. Losing Stretcher kind of stinks, but I guess they're both going to the discard pile no matter what here. So we're just taking this. Losing a Field Blower and the Marshadow off this Dedenne is also going to stink if this is Weezing, which I do think it is Weezing. Right, Prism is here. Peak is here as well. 10 energy. Alright, yeah. So losing the Field Blower, losing the Marshadow. Not ideal. But can't have it all the time. So it's gonna have to be fine. Can get rid of Zapdos and that. We're gonna get the Koko Prism here. Don't really want to bench anything else if we can avoid it. Until we have to, of course. Throw that there. Lillie. Alright. And then we can go ahead and activate this guy. Doot, doot, doot. And then we got that Retreat and Thunderous Assault. Boom. Knock out the Ditto. Alright, they still have a 5-card hand. I'm very curious as to what they have in their hand if they have 5 cards in their hand still. Yeah, we have to come up with something else to do here now. On this next turn, Koko is coming up. I would assume they probably have a DCE or a counter energy in the hand. They have to have something. I mean, you don't just have... Well, now it's a 6-card hand. I would assume, yeah, there's a counter energy. Alright, that's what I expected. And the Flying Flip, but that is it. Alright, looking real good for us right now. Let's go ahead and... E-powers are kind of good, but not like that great. Trying to think about what I want to do here. Could radar away these 2. We could just get the Koko GX and Pika. Could just get the Koko-GX. I think I'm just gonna get just the Koko-GX. Then we're gonna Acro Bike into that Thunder Mountain for sure. I'll then activate this guy. Attached to this guy. I think the E-powers have become useless at this point, so I'm just going to burn both those. We're going to keep this to replace a shrine, potentially. And then, yeah. Sky-high claws for the knockout here on the Koko. Seems like we're going to be taking this one pretty handily. Our opponent's going to have to top deck pretty much this turn if they want a chance. Well, actually, yeah. Otherwise, we just knock out the Oranguru and win the game. They have to top deck this turn, or come up with something this turn. This is the turn they have to come up with something. If they don't, we definitely just win the game. We'll get an easy dub here over this Weezing deck. There's a Larvitar, but that was probably their top deck if they just played it out of hand like that, so that's not going to help them at all. Yep, there's the pass back to us. I think we are just going to start setting up this PikaRom. Really for one kind of stinks. Might just wait a turn on that. Sky High Claws again here, knocking out the Oranguru as we're quickly going through this one. Easy dub here in the first one. I'm actually looking to set up for a full blitz into a tag bolt, but looks like it's not going to matter for this one. There's a counter energy to the Larvitar. There's a let loose finally from our opponent. All right, they're back in it. How back in it? I don't think very, but maybe enough. I guess we'll find out here in just a second. There's a Lillie and a Field Blower. Two very good cards to see, especially if a Shrine of Punishment gets involved. There's a Cynthia for our opponent. All right, so they're finally seeing some cards. Unfortunately for them, the second strike will only do 10 damage to our Koko GX here. Not going to be quite enough to really pose any kind of threat. There's the Shrine. All right, they're getting something started. There's a treasure. They're going to get a Coughing. Ideally for them to have another Coughing in hand. You know, I'd be fine with that. I'm trying to almost help them out at this point. I'm like, yeah, go ahead, take the second Coughing. That's fine. You do you, bro. You need it. No second Coughing. All right, so it's just going to be 10 damage, and then Shrine's going to rack up a little bit of damage on our bench guys, as well as the active guy as well, I guess, right? Yeah. All right, attach Field Blower. Get rid of that Shrine. Energy Switch from the Zeraora to the Peak. Billy for 5 here. 2, 3, 4, 5. He switch. No, we'll just go with a full blitz here. Knock out and set up for the Tag Bolt next turn to win the game. Yeah, set up for the Tag Bolt. There's no way they can knock out this PikaRom. We have 2 prizes left. They got 2 Pokemon in play. If they had 1 Pokemon in play, we just bench them out. So unless they have something super spicy coming down, which you know, I would like to see what it is. If they have something super spicy, something to take out this PikaRom, Foul Odor is definitely a move they could go with. But we do have the Guzma to answer that as well, or we could just go retreat attack with Koko, and that would also be efficient for the current scenario. So I think our opponent is going to have to go with the Foul Odor, and then hope we don't have a Guzma, which we know we have. So it's just kind of us waiting out these last couple actions from our opponent to go ahead and take this first dub here. There's a Stretcher going to go ahead and get themselves probably back the... I don't know. It's a close call. Oh, going for all 3. The whole squad. All right. Get them all in there. I would have gone with... I don't know what I would have gone with here. Counter Catcher I think is a little bit worse than just confusing the active. I think I had more outs to be able to retreat this thing. Because Guzma is also an out to be able to retreat it on top of everything else. I think I would have just gone with Foul Odor, confuse the PikaRom. The only way I can win next turn is that. But if I just retreat, get a knockout, I think I win anyways, so I don't know. Our opponent wasn't quite the pickle there. They had like no outs. Choosing to open up with the Marshadow here. I don't know if I should have benched the PikaRom. But opening PikaRom is generally never great, so we didn't go with that. There's a Marshadow start from our opponent. Yeah, opening up with PikaRom in the active is usually never ideal. So there's a top. We know our opponent top deck Jirachi because there's no reason you'd ever open. What's it called over Jirachi? There's a Reshizard from our opponent, and the turn 1 Welder, 1 or 2 is the question. Uh-oh, just the 1. So slow start here from our opponent. That's what I like to see. Growlithe and the Volcanion coming down. All right. So we're probably gonna look to knock out that Growlithe on our first turn here. We'll see. Ooh, and then the Dedenne follow-up. All right. The turn definitely turned around here for our opponent on this one. We could look to just pressure the Reshizard as well, but we can kind of just one-shot him. Yeah, he's kind of hard to one-shot. All right, let's take a look at the deck first. Field Blower for that as well is pretty cool. So we definitely want Dedenne, Zeraora. And then I really want to go with Guzma that up and then hopefully knock it out with a Zapdos. Or Guzma it up and hopefully hit it with a Zapdos. We could also just Guzma knock out the ground, like, especially because we're Field Blowing the Choice Band. I think I'm going to go with that. And we're just going to hope that we get the stuff we need. Yeah. Field Blower. Get rid of that. Yeah, so it'd be like this. Guzma up Growlithe. Send up this guy. And then Dedenne away the energy. We're looking for Zapdos E-Switch energy. Oh, there's a lot of outs, potentially. Huh. Guzma is probably best. There we go. Nest Ball. We can actually turn one full blitz, knock this thing out, and then have Koko, or yeah, Koko as a response to the potential knockout from a GX. Oh, I guess our opponent couldn't GX attack. They would have to hit their second Choice Band if they play 2 Choice Band. So if they play 2 Choice Band, then they can respond. They have to play 2 Choice Bands, so. If not, we're chilling. Full blitz, knockout. Load up the Zeraora on the bench. And get ourselves a prize card. Cool. E-Power. We'll see if we use that or not. Could knock out this Dedenne with another full blitz if they don't actually knock us out, which is very possible they don't knock us out. Could get full blitz KO Dedenne. Yeah, if they have second, what's it called? I think we're going to be in a little bit of trouble here for sure. Second Choice Band. And they find it, we'll definitely be in trouble. So we're really hoping that, first of all, if they just don't play second Choice Band, and if they do, hopefully just don't find it. Otherwise, we're probably just going to get hit with a Flare Strike, in which case we might go Guzma knock out Dedenne. I don't know yet. Depends on what our opponent has cooking. Here we go, digging with Stellar Wish. This makes me think that they definitely play 2 Choice Band if they're digging with Stellar Wish. Nest Ball fail, leaving that bench space open for options. The Volcanion bench was a little bit greedy from our opponent, I think. Double Nest Ball fail. I don't know why you'd want to get rid of those. You have Ultra Balls and stuff left that you'd want to be able to have some kind of fodder for. But maybe they plan to let loose after, but you'd want to let loose before Stellar Wish. I don't know. Maybe they plan to let loose only if they whip off Stellar Wish. But then still you'd hold the Nest Balls until after. Alright, it was definitely a mistake from our opponent, but I'm not going to overthink it. There's the Stellar Wish. Guzma. They've already played Welder, though. I can't use that. Next turn they can GX us, but it looks like they're going to go ahead and hit us right now. Now we can decide if we want to full blitz hit this, then we could get punished by Miltank. Yeah, there's the let loose. Alright, so they did have the let loose the whole time. Do they get the Choice Band? We are getting some fresh cards though, so we could also find a play that allows us to knock this thing out. Should be cool. There's an E-Power, so that's a good start. That's an Outrage for 30. Alright, so we can go E-Power, let loose, Peak. So just full blitzing to another PikaRom would also be super cool. Their bench is full, so they can't Miltank, which is also pretty relevant. So almost playing the E-Power is kind of useless. It's almost kind of useless. We could just go this and then let loose. Just save the E-Power. No reason to put down the Thunder Mountain either. Just let loose. This looks pretty good to me. Gonna go ahead and attach to the Peak. And then full blitz for 150. Yeah, they don't have room for the Miltank, so I think we got this one pretty much locked up. We'll see if our opponent has any last tricks up their sleeve. But I think we have pretty much just got this one locked up. We'll see. They have no other options for attackers on the bench. They pretty much have to use their active to knock us out. They can't heal it, like I keep saying. Cannot heal it with Miltank. I repeat, they cannot heal their active with Miltank. They don't have bench space for Miltank. Unless they somehow create a bench space, which I have no idea even how that would be possible. I think we have this one pretty much wrapped up. Our start did not look super magnificent, but it ended up with the turn 1 full blitz, which is always pretty good. And we were able to, big thing, Field Blower away that Choice Band that they had to put down because they went with that turn 1 data change, so they could actually see some decent cards. And then from there, it's been kind of falling apart for them. I think they got a little bit greedy with their bench. Definitely weren't able to recover from there. I'm trying to think of if we ever get punished by attacking with PikaRom. We could just send this guy up to begin with. I mean, if we get an energy, we just win the game, or Thunder Mountain. Koko doesn't do it, so we should just Plasma Fists, I think. I don't think there's a reason to get greedy here. Move the energy back. No. Just go ahead and Plasma Fists. Then they could GX knock this out. They can only get 3 on it, so I don't think they can kill this. So I should probably just full Blitz and thin out some more energy out of the deck. Yeah, I mean, that makes a little bit more sense. Yeah, full Blitz. We can just put them on the active too. I don't think this thing can die. If it does somehow die, well, we're definitely going to learn something. So we'll see. Yeah, if this PikaRom does somehow die, we're definitely going to learn something. I don't think it can die. I'm trying to think of ways it could die. We could see a Welder plus Attach. That's 300 with the GX attack plus Choice Band. That's 330. Can't play Kukui. Could see a green. No, not a green. We could see Lieutenant Surge plus Welder Kukui. That would actually do it. So if our opponent plays Kukui and Surge, that would do it. Unlikely that our opponent plays that, but that is an out. I think we found an out. They're down to Let Loose, so they can't disrupt our hand, so we currently have game next turn. All we have to do is kind of play it out. There's an Acro Bike. No idea what they got, but they got rid of a switch. Let's see where it goes from here. Yeah, I'm super curious. I don't think there's a way, but I always like to know if there is or isn't. There's a Snorlax for our opponent. Maybe you can hit us with the Cheer Up. That actually wouldn't even be that bad if they like Welder to it and then cheered up. And I mean, they have 3 prizes left though, so they definitely have to be playing a second Choice Band if they actually want to pull something off. We're currently 1 energy away from being able to GX attack. So I have to think that's coming as well. So Eevee Snorlax pretty much has to make its way to the active here. Oh, they played Shrine. That would have done it if they had had another Choice Band. If they play Shrine, that definitely makes me think that they do play 2 Choice Band. You wouldn't play Shrine and not play 2 Choice Band, I don't think. So they definitely play 2 Choice Band. They just didn't find it. So they definitely could have gone. They could have gone Welder attached Choice Band then there. All right, so that one actually could have gotten pretty hairy. Maybe should have just attacked with this guy. Yep, and there we go. They concede. They know we got the GX attack. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I mean they definitely had the cards to be able to pull off the win there. I could have attacked with the Zeraora instead. I guess it would have been a little bit safer. They were down to Let Loose. I didn't really calculate that on my turn when I chose to retreat. I should have just attacked with Zeraora. You can't disrupt my hand. I got a Guzma in it. Unless they play like 3 Let Loose or a Judge, but they probably don't. So, little misstep on my part. Didn't get punished. Go see if we can't get another dub. First here in this one. Playing against the Wheezing, man. Let's see. Let's start with an S-Ball. So we have no Koko Prism. Big thing to take note of here. We do really want to build up into a PikaRom. So I almost want to grab that first and start building him up. But Zeraora is pretty important, and we can take some early knockouts with the Zap guys. That might be a little bit better. We could just grab him and then go with a Let Loose. That sounds fine to me. Possibly disrupt our opponent. We'll attach here. Ultra Ball away both Choice Bands because they shouldn't be very necessary in this game. I think I'm just going to grab the Resetting Home Marshadow to possibly bump any stadium that makes its way down. And then Let Loose. And if they don't want to put a Shrine down because this isn't playing, can bump it, that's also fine with me. So we'll take that. We'll start with the Acro Bike. Ideally want to find a Lillie off it. PikaRom also works. We could just take another Acro Bike. PikaRom to the scrap pile. We have the second PikaRom in the deck. I'm almost positive he's in there. Take the energy. Is going to have to be an Ultra Ball for that Lele for Lillie. So we have as many options as possible. Next turn. Let's see, second peak was in here, right? Yeah, that's fine. Well, we can get away with 1 peak, I think. Yeah, definitely just want to be able to bump Shrines with the Resetting Hole. If not, I can always like bump our own Thunder's Mount if I have to. I think this matchup is pretty tough. Definitely winnable. Yeah, we have both Field Blowers left, which is the big thing. Just retreat to Zeraora. A lot of E-switches in hand. This hand's like pretty good for us to be able to set up pretty much whatever we want to do. Of course, our opponent also plays Let Loose Marshadow themselves. Sometimes they actually play a Judge, the Wheezings do, so not for sure going to be able to keep this hand, but we can definitely live off this hand for like a couple turns of just kind of doing what we want. Yeah, there's the Shrine, and it's better for them to just go ahead and get the Resetting Hole Marshadow out of the way as fast as possible and not have to deal with it. than just sit here and be like, well, I'm just gonna hold all 3 shrines until when until you KO the resetting hole Marshadow. That's like turns away from now. So yeah, I definitely think my opponent is correct in being like aggressive about the current situation. All right, triple coughing coming down, so I think we definitely will Guzma KO Blitzel, but I kind of like to save the Guzmas to play around. And let's do this first. To play around spell tags, but I think we're just gonna go for it here. We're gonna attach there, Guzma this guy, take the knockout. Definitely don't want him to set up his Zebstrika and have kind of free reign over all that draw power. So we're definitely gonna just deal with it here, get that out of the way. So we have the Ultra Ball full blitz set up for next turn. Kind of the question is just if we want to do it, and I think the answer is probably yes. We can get off a full blitz and then set up for a tag ball on the following turn, and then kind of choose what we want to take off the board. You know, we can maybe take all the Weezings off the board, all the Coughings, just make it so that Weezings can't be set up. A second Blitzel. That's not something you see every day in this deck. I feel like you usually see a 1-1 or none. This man's got the 2-2 Zebstrika, I would assume, in the deck. All right, we're definitely going to go with the PikaRom play here. Get aggressive. E-powers are pretty good to use with Zapdos to clean up later on, but I think we'll just like transition to this guy anyways. Yeah, let's clean out the hand a little bit. Try and draw as many cards as possible with this Lillie. So yeah, full blitz into the tag bolt on the following turn. We'll see if our opponent can get a Larvitar response or not. They definitely can't get it this turn, but the following turn, or if the peak will be sticking around for a while. Let's find out. Full blitz here, knocking out that Weezing. 1, 2, 3. Pretty much cleaning our deck out of energy. Still a couple left in there. And yeah, knock out. Alright, this is like the big turn coming up. We got the tag bolt for next turn. We can wipe out pretty much anything we want off the board. Like we can knock out, you know, Weezing and a Coughing, Weezing and a Weezing. We can take out the Zebstrika plus a Weezing. Whatever we think is going to limit our opponent the most. They can't KO this PikaRom. Just not possible. Their deck can't do it. There's the Zebstrika, so that's definitely a target we want to look at taking out. There's another Cynthia from our opponent, so they're continuing to keep drawing cards. They need an energy. They play choice bands. I didn't notice this one before. They do play choice bands though over the spell tag. So interesting choice from our opponent to go with the choice bands. They might play spell tags as well. All right, there's the Koko. Now what the Koko means is that they can, there's a spell tag. Alright, so they do play both. So the Koko means that is currently like their pivot, and so if I knock out this and don't KO the Koko, they can then get into Larvitar. But if I KO the Koko, which is what I'm going to do, they actually just can't get into Larvitar very well. So that's our plan, is knock that out and then knock out Koko and knock out the active Weezing, which is about to hit us for 70, which is a little bit annoying. They're hitting us pretty hard. Definitely want to look for a... Gonna dig pretty hard for a Field Blower here with the Lillie. Field Blower would be great to see. Only an 18-card deck left, so we don't have a ton of cards left. But yeah, we're definitely going to go with KO Koko so they can't get into the Larvitar. A lot of damage racking up on our side as well. We might be taking a loss here, though. Which is how much damage is racking up, man. This is actually a crazy amount of damage racking up. Go ahead and attach a Zeraora. Radar away these two. I'm not going to take anything. Both Field Blowers are in the deck. Lillie for 3. I might even let loose to try and find one, but there we go. Field Blower. Get rid of that shrine, man. I don't want that shrine sticking around. Get rid of that. Alright, and then we have the tag bolt, like I was saying. Now we could go after the Weezing, I guess, and if they Larvitar this, they'd go down to 3 prizes. We don't really have a good follow-up, though. I think we need this PikaRom to take 1 more prize. So I think I need to keep it alive. Go after the Koko. If they have something like an Escape Board or Tate and Liza play, oh well, they have it. But this makes it way easier for them to get into Larvitar if we don't KO it. So I think definitely taking that out right there is best. There's that Koko Prism. Little late, but he didn't really... him not being there hasn't really slowed us down that much, I don't think. I think we've still been running fine, even with him not there. So yeah, the game is coming down to the last couple turns here. We don't want to put too much more into play if we can avoid it. They're going to get a big turn here. They're going to draw 2 prizes and pretty much set everything up to be almost knocked out. And then maybe on the following turn they'll have enough damage in play to kind of sweep the game. We'll see. It's one of those things where I'm almost just like I'm not going to care to find out. We might want to go KO the Zebstrika so they can't dig too hard for the... Was that another Blitzel that they got rid of? I think it was. So they can't dig too hard for the Mr. Mime. Better safe than sorry. I can respect it. They don't have a pivot, though. Oh, there's the pivot. The Koko. So we kind of want to kill the Koko so they can't get into the damage swap Lele. I'm going to count the damage real fast here. Going into our opponent's turn. Oh, no, another Shrine. Alright, I think they're going to have enough damage, and it'll come down to if they can get into the Lele or not. I think that's what's going to happen here. We definitely want to remove this Shrine from play, so we're going to dig pretty deep for that Field Blower, I think. So we still have Stretcher. Yeah, so we could pretty much draw our whole deck and then Stretcher stuff back. KO this, get the Field Blower. Okay, so we got a game plan. Just need to execute now. Because we're going to have a lot of damage in play. I think enough for him to knock out the PikaRom, or just the 2 GXs actually, yeah. So we need to KO this Koko. We can't let that Koko stay in play. I don't, maybe they can do enough damage to KO anything else anyways. I don't, there's just too much damage. I think we actually are going to lose this one with the way things are currently going. Gonna go ahead and just do this, pop this. Yeah, but the way things currently look, I'm not super confident in this one. And then I think I want to go ahead and just let loose to dig. Can we go ahead and throw the Zapdos in play as well? We plan to KO this or KO the... If we KO that, though... Oh, man, this one's hard. I guess we want to keep the bench space open. Yeah, let loose. Limit our opponent's hand. That's the Dedenne I wanted. There's the Field Blower I wanted. Alright, everything's... We're getting everything we need. But it's just whether or not it's enough. So we can't actually send up this guy because then both these die. So we have to attack with PikaRom because they can do 50, 60. Well, if we full blitz knock this out, could get rid of this so they don't have the pivot option. This is a tough one. So we could get rid of the pivot option. Could get rid of the draw option. But I think the pivot option is actually more important, so that way they can't get into the Lele. They would need like Guzma in hand with the Lele and the counter energy. This thing dies no matter what. This thing will take 40 damage, so it won't die. We have a Guzma left, I believe, so we can get around a spell tag. And then this thing will take 50, 60 damage. Still won't die. If they have another Shrine, they're down 3 Shrines, so I think knocking out Koko is best here, because otherwise we do lose to the Lele promo. I hope I'm not messing this up too bad. I think this is the correct play to go for. We'll see on this last turn here. Just going to go ahead and throw this in play on that rat on the bench. Maybe we want to do 50 damage. Who knows? Oh, man, this one's getting close. This one's getting close. I don't know where this one's going to go. I'm trying to think of their options. They definitely could pull off like some Guzma or Tate and Liza play, but that just requires a lot in hand to have like everything in hand at once. Unless I miscalculated. No, this guy will take 20. He'll go up to 170. 180 with another detonation guess. If they play a 4th Shrine and find it, we do just lose. Lele dies no matter what, but nothing else should die. He'll hit it for 50 on the active. This will be 10 damage away from dying. This will be 10 damage away from dying. And then we will have Guzma. We can just go find our last Guzma. One of our last Guzmas. We have 2 left. And knock out something off the bench that doesn't have a spell tag. Because the other thing that could happen is a spell tag be on the active. We could go into a sudden death. But they did just attach here. So that means they don't have a way into the Lele. So their game plan has to be spell tag on active. And then hope we cannot get around it. But we should be good to get around it. That thing doesn't change anything. Ever, I don't think. No, this guy doesn't change anything ever. Should be good. We'll see. There's the sprint. I'm still a little nervous, but I think we should be good. The only out, like I said, is spell tag on the active. But they do play choice band, so I'm kind of unsure if they even play like 4 spell tag. But they could be playing like 4 spell tag, 2 choice band, which I actually kind of like. Choice bands are actually good, pretty good in Wheezing. They're just kind of hard to fit and stay consistent. Second Koko is pretty good as well. I kind of like to deal with those pivots, man. I mean, it is nice to play the 2 Koko because you can put them both down at once and be like, well, you can't KO both of them. I'm going to get into my game ender here eventually. Yeah, we'll see. I think they won't have anything. Yep, there we go. We get the victory there in the end. Who knows if they had a spell tag left. If they did, they didn't get it, though, because that was their only option left to potentially tie the game and then go into a sudden death, which I think we're definitely favored in. Because if we go first, we just attack going second. If we go second, we just attack going second. So on our second turn. Yeah, we're just favored no matter what in the sudden death scenario. Didn't get there. It was close. But we did end up taking the dub there in the end of that last one. And that's going to do it for the video on PikaRom. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I think PikaRom's actually the second best overall deck in the format, behind Reshizard. And then depending on the meta, will be better for the meta at times in the current situation that the meta is in. But yeah, Reshizard is definitely the best deck. I think PikaRom is right behind it though. So if you guys are looking for a deck that's besides Reshizard that is very good right now, check out the PikaRom for sure. And that's going to do it, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, give it a like. If you're enjoying the content, subscribe. Leave your thoughts in the comment section down below. Links in the description to my Twitch live stream and social medias, fun stuff like that. Check that stuff out. I'm also putting the deck lists in the description down below as well. So if you want to quickly copy paste this list over to PTCGO, you can do that as well. Have a good day. Thanks for watching, and peace.